Hey, what's up guys? I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to kind of log on here and we can do a quick Q&A. Just anybody who starts to watch this video immediately in our story, I'll just walk you through a few of our products here, including some of the new products we're going to talk about in just a few minutes, like these table and chair sets. And just kind of wait for people to log on and hopefully have some questions here that I can answer for you. So these are our new table and chair sets back here. It's going to come in 4 colors. So you have the Eloise Plum here, you have Noah Gray right back here, and then Aqua and Lime Green. And then here, if I just move the high chair out of the way, you have the backpack that they all fit into. So they fold up. It's kind of like a modern version of the like cardboard table and chair set that you might have or have seen obviously in the past, and just kind of like a miniature version of that. So that will be coming out soon. We can talk about that more in a minute. And then also our high chair is now on the way again. When we originally launched this high chair, we brought in what we thought would be 3 months worth of inventory, and it blew out and sold out within about a month and a half. So we were a little bit back ordered on those and had to completely mark them out of stock for a while. If you're not familiar, there's lots of videos on the website, but this is the coolest high chair ever. It comes apart, becomes a table and chair. The legs can come off. You can take it to a restaurant. You can put it at your table at home. And there's all kinds of different, you can also use it as a low chair without the actual table base. So there's all kinds of like really cool functions on the high chair. And we did add a few tweaks to this next shipment of high chairs based on feedback from the first batch that we sent out, which I can go over if you guys have any particular questions. So everybody who's logged on, what do you guys think about the colors of our table and chair sets? Do you guys like it? Which one's your favorite? If you had to buy one, if I forced you to buy one, which one would you get? All right, and then I also want to show you guys these parent consoles back here as well. So these are going to be the new parent consoles that will come out. There was like a brief video that I had posted maybe 2 weeks ago or so, just kind of like showing the, what is this, 6 colors here, 7 colors here that are on the table. And then we also decided to add orange and yellow to the mix. So when we actually start shipping them, we will have all 9 of our colors. And obviously I'll do, let me move this table and chair set so I can set the camera down here. I'm gonna do like detailed videos and everything of these eventually, but just to give you kind of like a sneak peek, these are going to hook on. We made sure the Velcro straps are like, let me grab a color because it'll probably show up better. So this is Aqua, and we did like really long straps so that they're not like hanging right under the handlebar, because that kind of prevents you from being able to put certain size drinks into the actual parent console. So really long straps, you can hang it really low or get it closer to the handle if you want to. And lots of Velcro, so you're not gonna like run out of room. Some of them only have like a little bit of Velcro up at the top or like one snap, which is kind of frustrating. So we ran the Velcro all the way down, which is nice. So you can do it right on top of the handle, tight, or just barely hang it, depending on what you have in it and what your comfort level is. Also, even like depending on how the seats recline, like how far they are reclined, you may want to raise this or lower this just to make it more level and in the right position. So, so this is padded and somewhat insulated. It's not like waterproof. There was so many ideas that we had with these, and you guys provided in one of the posts that we asked you to, that we may eventually implement, but this is more like our version 1. And what we tried to do was keep it as simple and basic as possible while providing the pockets or the functionality that we think is most important. And then also kind of our unique selling proposition on this product, and what we think is special about it is obviously it fits Zoe perfectly, and it's a very great parent console, but we're going to have 9 different colors, and that's different. Not many people, if anybody, are doing that out there. So you'll be able, it's almost like our new version of the wheel caps, if you want to look at it that way. If you've followed our brand for a little bit, you know that our older strollers, you could put colored wheel caps on the actual wheels, and our newer strollers, that's not an option because the caps don't fit our new wheels, and we may eventually do that again. But this is kind of like our new version of that little pop of color that you can add to your Zoe. So like if you have, let's see, like, so if we go over here to, this is the red XLC here, okay? Let me spin it around. And basically, like if you wanted to add some navy blue to your red, then you would be able to add that on to the XLC. So color's a little blown out there. There we go. And so it's almost like the opposite on this particular color option or combo, because you're kind of like doling it down a little bit and bringing it down. But if you had navy blue and you wanted to add red, you could do that as well. So anyways, going back over here, I'll just show you a few of the details really quick. So you've got a pocket on the front here, zippered pocket, and it's padded on the inside and right here, that will fit the new iPhone 8, 8 Plus, 7 Plus, no problem. It fits in there. You just slide it in and zip it, okay? Here we space these out to where they're elastic, and they will fit pretty much every size drink that you would want to put in here. This is all somewhat padded on the interior. And then you have another cup holder over here, and then a zippered mesh pocket, okay? So it's actually a little bit bigger than this front pocket, but pretty much the same size opening, and then mesh. So keys, maybe small wallet, something like that in there, or up here in the front, phone in either one, wherever you want to put it, and then lots of space in the middle. The key here is really that you can add 2 of these to the XL2. So now you have 4 cup holders back here, tons of storage and pockets. You already have the 1 cup holder on the side, but some people like to remove that so they can go through like narrow doorways that are more narrow than a standard doorway, or just doorways easier. And then also, so then you would basically have 5 cup holders on an XL2, and then lots of storage, just being able to like sanitizing wipes, all that kind of stuff that you want like really quick access to will be back there on the handlebar. So probably the funnest part really is just the colors. That's kind of like the fun part for us. So which color of these do you think you guys like the best? And remember, they'll be orange and yellow as well. Let's see. For some reason, comments are like lagging. They'll like a bunch will pop up at one time, and then none will pop up, and they'll all disappear. It's weird. I think Instagram updated the app or something. Cool. Green, black, blue. Awesome. Yeah. Love the blue. I love this aqua. It's funny because we loved the color from the beginning, but we didn't know how well it would do. And obviously when you put it on things like plastic or fabric, like even different fabrics, it shows a little bit different, but it's such a beautiful color, and it's so hard to really capture it on camera. In pictures, it's a little bit easier, but on video, it's really, really hard. But actually on my phone, it's looking very, very accurate right now. It's such a beautiful color. Even when you get it in the sun, it just like has like a pop to it. So let's see. All right, so if you guys have some questions, let me know before I just keep rambling on, because I will for like 2 hours. That way I can actually answer some stuff. And I can also just start walking you guys through some of the products. Yep, waiting on the Aqua XLC. It's going to be a little bit, it's probably going to be right after Thanksgiving for any XLCs that are out of stock. So just a heads up on that. I don't know if we've posted the date for that yet, but we just got an update over the weekend that that it'll probably be. We were trying to get the out of stock XLC colors in for Thanksgiving because we know it's a busy travel season, and trying to get those in for you. And it may happen, but we would rather play it safe and say most likely those colors are not going to be back in stock until after Thanksgiving. And there are some colors that are in stock, obviously, but the XLC is pretty much, it's probably going to sell out completely, like all colors, within the next couple of weeks, and not be back until after Thanksgiving. Let's see. Okay, I'm just digging through the questions because they're coming in here now. Price on the parent console, not sure yet. We're still waiting on our final cost of like all of the materials and everything. If I had to guess, I mean, to have a really wide range, anywhere between $15 and $40, but most likely it's going to be between $20 and $30. So it's going to be right in line with most parent consoles that are out there. We won't overcharge just because it's a Zoe like some other companies would. Let's see. For a join, are there plans for a joined parent console? No, but you can put two on an XLC. So I think that'll probably answer your question. You can put them side by side. Kids table age range. So we're waiting on like the final testing, like with JPMA and like all like the super detailed safety testing for our table and chair sets. And I can't really officially announce like weight limit and stuff until then, but I can say my personal use is that I've literally, when we got the first prototype and everyone looked at me like I was a crazy person, but I stood up on these and like started jumping around a little bit just because we wanted to make sure that we didn't introduce something that was just like a flimsy little plastic chair, that would break all over the place, right? That's the opposite of what we try to do at Zoe. So we wanted them to be like super lightweight, which they are. I mean, they're super duper lightweight. We wanted them to be able to fold really easy with just like a button under there, which they do. So that just folds really compact. And then the table was kind of like a whole nother challenge because usually these things have like all kinds of locks and things on them. But here you literally, you just fold it down. It folds down so easily and compact. Just pops right back out. So there's no like crazy like on every leg you gotta unlock it or lock it, or take the legs off. Some tables and chairs you have to do that. And then of course we wanted them all to be able to stack and go into the backpack over here. So that was really, really important as well. So, and then of course be able to introduce it all at an aggressive price of $79.99. So the quality you're getting here, again, I always say this about our business model, but if we were to sell this in like a Buy Buy Baby or some other retail, like even specialty shops, this would probably be at least like $149.99. But because we only sell direct to you guys online, and you guys are basically our marketing department, just trying to get word of mouth advertising and everything, it just allows us to sell things at such better prices that are actually affordable for everyone. So long story long there, we don't have the official like age limit or weight limits for them yet. But all of my kids have used them, and my twins just turned 2 a couple days ago, and I have an 8-year-old. So they all use this, no problem, doing what kids do. They aren't easy on them, put it that way. So actually the one in the bag right here, if I opened it up, a bunch of sand would probably pour out because I still haven't even cleaned it off completely. But that's the one that we had at the beach a couple of months ago, and we were taking pictures on the beach and all that stuff. So they were beating it up real bad. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I'm reading comments like, so the table's so convenient, throw it on the sand. I mean, camping, like we're about to go camping here soon. We'll definitely bring, like we're going with like a bunch of friends, and I don't know, there's probably 15 kids or something total. So we'll definitely be bringing at least 2 or 3 of these sets and a bunch of chairs and stuff, just because it's the perfect camping table and chair set. Being able to throw it on your back, and I mean, it's just perfect for that. So I always say, it sounds like such a sales pitch, but pretty much every set of grandparents or every grandma and grandpa should have one of these in their closet. I mean, if you think about it, whether it's just popping it out and being able to have your kids eat at it or your grandkids eat at it, or doing like toy time, art time. I mean, it's perfect in so many different situations and so compact. So someone asked if this is the backpack that we use for the stroller. It's the same exact design, but I can show you an actual stroller backpack. But that's the same design, you know, with the straps on the back and then the rubberized handle up here. The zipper on the V2 backpacks, all the V2 backpacks zip all the way down. And in the older ones just zip to about here. So basically having them zip all the way down makes it a lot easier to get them in and out. But let me grab, let's see. Yeah, this is the XLC here. Let me move this stuff out of the way so you can see the details. And by the way, we're gonna sell the chairs separately as well. So the table, it looks like it's square. It's just a little bit longer on one side than the other, but the chairs fit on all 4 sides, no problem. It's just a little tiny bit more accommodating on one side than the other. But anyways, you'll be able to mix and match colors and all that stuff if you want to buy extra chairs. So this is the XLC backpack. So if you're gonna buy really any of our strollers in a V2 backpack, which if you're buying a V2 stroller, you should buy a V2 backpack. Those are the ones that'll fit the V2 strollers best. This is the XLC though. So basically we have the double zippers here. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. Double zippers here, zips all the way down. So it's like so easy to get in and out. The entire, you know, front of the bag comes open. There's your XLC in there. I mean, that's basically the process of getting it in and out of the bag. I won't name names in terms of brands, but my wife and I, when we had there's the XLC, you know, the unfold of it. Little wrinkled because it's been closed off in a bag for a while. But my wife and I, when we had our first child, she must have been, I don't know, 6 months old or something. We were going to New York City for like a week. And we brought a very, very expensive stroller, $1,000 plus stroller, to the airport. And of course we had like the fancy travel bag that, you know, you basically had to break down the stroller and put it in the travel bag. And I mean, I was like sweating my face off on the ground in the airport, taking wheels off and sliding them into the designated pocket. And like, I just felt like such a fool. And of course you always do as like a first time parent anyways, because you have no clue what you're doing. But anyways, when we decided to launch a travel bag for our new strollers, one, we wanted to make them backpacks, which pretty much no one was doing at the time. Now a few other companies do it, surprisingly right after we launched ours, right? But we wanted, probably the biggest little detail that we wanted to throw in there is that you can put your stroller into the backpack or into the travel bag without taking the wheels off. And it's like this little detail. I don't understand why more companies don't do that. But you basically, with a ZOE stroller, if you buy a backpack, you fold the stroller down. We always advise taking off cup holders and stuff like that. But I mean, pretty much, if you're in an airport and you're ready to put your stroller into your bag, you literally just fold it down. And if you want to carry it on your back, you can with the carry straps, right? But then you just pull the bag over, just lay it down, and wrap the thing around it. You're done, okay? I wish I had that when my first daughter was 6 months old, and then it goes on right on your back, okay? So anyways, that's the V2 travel bag. I don't really show that very often. I probably should. Usually I don't do it that fast live. A little bit harder when you're live, right? All right, let's see here. Stroller weight limit, we test all of our stroller seats, so that's each individual seat, to 50 pounds internally. And then there's like a rating that we have to, it's almost like a sled test in a car, or like car seat kind of type of thing. You have to like pay to get each rating. So we got it rated up to, I think, 18 kilograms per seat. And if we wanted to, we could go back and retest those and like change it. But basically we internally test at 50 pounds. Pretty much no one comes back and says like, there's no way my 50-pound child should be in the seat. It's, you know, your stroller can't handle it. I don't know if we've ever had someone say that. So we may even be able to internally test it higher, but we figure that's pretty much high enough. So 50 pounds per seat to answer the weight limit question. Internally tested. We just have to like technically state those separate because it's two separate specs, if that makes sense. Double stroller, okay, cool. Let me get, and I also have the tandem too that I can pull out. Just keep asking questions. I've got maybe about 15 more minutes that I can answer questions, so I'm gonna do my best to answer as many as possible. And I think I already said it, but the high chair is available for pre-order, was the moral of that story again, whereas it had not been available for pre-order for a very long time. So the tandem over here, because I don't know which double stroller you were talking about. Also, there's a lot of confusion on the tandem right now, and I will be fixing it soon. But people are like, what happened to your tandem stroller? You used to have a tandem stroller. How do I order it? And the gist there is that it's still available. What we did was, when it was a pre-order item and we were just kind of like promoting it and showing it for the first time, it was kind of like on the same product page. But the way you buy our tandem stroller is actually you buy the XL1 Best V2, and then you buy the tandem seat separately. So even though it's a tandem stroller combined, it's sold as two different pieces. And that's confused a lot of people, so I'll probably be like relaunching the product page soon and then just show that it's sold as two different pieces and direct you guys to the appropriate place. But we like to keep them separate because I want you guys to be able to buy like the color combo. So like if you want to do a navy blue seat for the XL1 Best V2 and then like a red or aqua tandem seat, then I want you to be able to do that. And if we sold them all as like one kit, you wouldn't get either one of them until both of them were available, which the tandem seat's, you know, still a pre-order item and not coming until probably late October, early November. But also you would only be able to choose one color because we wouldn't be able to customize it and separate the two items. So for now, that's how they're going to be sold. But I'm going to try to explain that a little bit better on the website soon. Okay, so double strollers are here. Just hit me up with questions. Let's see, so return policy. I'm just reading one of these real quick. Yeah, return policy for accessories is exactly the same as strollers. So like if you are not sure if you want the backpack or not, you know, you can buy it and try it inside your home, no food or drink, keep the original packaging. Same thing with like carry straps. Like if you're not sure whether or not you want to have like a backpack or just two carry straps on one of our single strollers to carry it like a backpack, then yeah, you can buy both. And then the return shipping on those, you might want to explore your options to return it yourself, because if you send it like USPS first class mail, you might save $5 or $6 rather than using our $10 label. But that also is another question that we get a lot is the return fee per item or per box? And so if you buy like 5 accessories with your stroller, most likely it'll all come in one box. So if you were to return all that, it would be $10 for the one box. But if it's 2 boxes, it would be $10 times 2, right? So one question too I wanted to answer while I have this here is a lot of people say, should I get the backpack or the carry straps, the double carry straps for your single strollers? And I mean, for me, it's like the typical stroller answer, right? Get both or get all, right? And I hate to say that because it sounds like I'm just trying to sell you a bunch of stuff, but I'm not. This backpack would be probably best used for traveling, obviously for storage, like longer backpack use, okay? The double carry strap for the stroller is more like climbing a flight of stairs, chasing your kid around the zoo. I always use that example. That type of usage. I mean, if you're in the city and you're like, you got to like bring your stroller to go pick up your kid from somewhere or something like that, that's when you would do that with the double carry straps on the actual stroller. But if you're like traveling and stuff, you're going to want the backpack most likely. I mean, I think most airlines, even if you try to put like the XLC in the overhead bin, a lot of airlines will not allow anything with exposed wheels to go into an overhead bin. So, it depends. It always depends on the airline, the worker, all that kind of stuff, to get something onto an airplane, whether it be a backpack or a purse or a stroller, right? But I always recommend the backpack if you're going to be traveling with it. And then, of course, the carry straps are going to come in handy too. So, at least one, right? Okay, let me look at some questions. Can you fold the tandem one? Yeah, so I have to be careful with this one because it's still a prototype. We don't even have all of the colors of our tandem seat sample, but I always explain too, I hate two-piece folding strollers, okay? And I've said that a zillion times, probably sound like a broken record, but there was a reason we developed a patent pending two-piece fold, okay? And what we wanted to do was have a double stroller that could come apart into 2 pieces for a lot of reasons. Probably the biggest reason is that we wanted you to be able to fold each piece individually. I'm going to be careful with this one. The real production unit will just boom, fold or whatever. We wanted to be able to fold each piece. These come off. Each piece go into a backpack, okay? So that's a production unit, that's the difference, right? So each piece go into a backpack and lock and be able to get stored separately. So it's really important if you think about it for like a tandem stroller. Most of the time you fold it and it's got this big, even though it's like narrow compared to a side-by-side, it's got this really thick cube to it. Which prevents it from getting stored in a lot of places, like say behind the 3rd row of a mid-size SUV. But our tandem stroller, because the 2 pieces can be separated, can go side by side like a double stroller that's side by side and go right behind those seats. A really big thing also on going back to overhead bins of airplanes is that like this piece here, is actually smaller than our XLC stroller. So basically, and then the XL1 fits on a lot of airplanes in the overhead. Just depends on the airplane and all that stuff. So basically you have a double stroller now that could possibly and probably go into the overhead bin of many airlines. And that's pretty much unheard of. So you're not going to find many double strollers that are capable of that. So then comes the challenge of like, well, we need to make the 2-piece fold super duper easy if we're going to do this, and that's it, right? So actually the stroller that I was talking about in the airport a few minutes ago when I was a young parent, that was a 2-piece fold, and it was a nightmare. I mean, my wife actually stopped using that stroller because she's like, I can't take it anywhere. It's so hard to fold. 2 pieces and the handlebar goes up and down, all that stuff. So, I mean, when we developed the 2-piece fold, I was trying to figure out a way to do it without it. But that's as easy as a 2-piece fold can get. And then pull, you're done. And then snapping it together, snaps down at the bottom there, snaps in here, and it's done. So that's how the tandem folds and why it folds the way it does. Yeah, let's see. Oh, that's a common question. Okay, so I just saw somebody. So one of the cool features about our strollers, and I'll actually pull in the XL2 just to give it some screen love here, is that like if you've been to the beach or there's 8 zillion crackers, sand, whatever in the stroller, we basically made it to where they have pop-out seats, right? So you can just literally do that, and it's gonna pop all the crumbs and sand out for the most part. You give it a brush. I have a video that I did like a couple months ago on Instagram and Facebook that show that, okay? We don't even list it as a feature. We probably should. Probably will soon. But it's a really, really cool feature, right? So some people will say, well, when my child sits in the stroller, they can lean forward. Pretty much all strollers, with the exception of certain types of reclines, that's the case, okay? So it's a very standard thing, but you can always just incline the seat and it takes all the tension out to where the seat can basically barely come forward, okay? So that answers that question, and I'm probably gonna do a video of that eventually just to kind of like show, you know, how you could you can basically lock your seat into place. So if your child wants to sit up, you want to incline the seat. If they want to lay down, recline the seat. And you know, if they're able to move forward, just incline it just a little bit and problem solved. Let's see. Car seats, no car seats. So that's a very, 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 very common question. And the answer is always just that that's not something that we focus on. Sorry, I was just reading something else. Oh, good. Okay. So I'm glad my answer to that solved an issue there. So anyways, the car seats, we just don't focus on infant car seats. It's not something we're probably ever going to go into. I guess the long story short there is just that it changes everything for us as a company. It would make our strollers heavier because certain functionality is required when you accept infant car seats. It's not required if you don't. Which would kind of take away from the mission of our company. And also, you know, it would make our strollers more pricey because a lot more requirements and testing and insurance and compliance and all that stuff is involved when you go into car seats. So it's just not something that we focus on. We're kind of laser focused on 6 months and older that sit directly in the car seat. I mean, directly in the stroller seat, right? Yeah, so no car seats. Let's see here. Which double stroller would you recommend for international travel? So that's a great question. And actually, we had a mom write in, I don't know, a couple days ago that asked basically the same thing for Disney, right? So which double stroller would you recommend for Disney? So first off, the question I would have back to you is, what are the ages of your children? Like if they're the same age, you probably want to get the side-by-side. If one's going to be hopping in and out of the stroller a lot and maybe not even using the seat a lot, you might want to get the tandem. But all in all, it's more of a preference thing of which type of double stroller parent are you, right? So like personally, we will use the tandem when we know like most likely we probably won't be using this seat a lot. And then sometimes we'll throw it into a backpack and just push the single stroller and then undo it if needed. And sometimes if like we know there's gonna be a super tight crowd, a tandem stroller is a little bit easier, or like super tight aisles that you're gonna walk through, like in certain stores and everything. But again, then you have to worry about the aisles being, you know, like when you go to turn, is it, you know, long enough for a tandem stroller? So sometimes those things come into play, but all in all, it's more like, I mean, believe it or not, there's tons more parents that prefer tandems than side-by-side. I personally prefer a side-by-side double stroller, but that's just like my personal preference, right? But with our tandem stroller, like there's certain cases where I'm like, I'm so glad I have this and not a side-by-side stroller. So it really just depends. If you have 2 kids, I always say also that our XL2 is still our premier double stroller. So like if you don't really have a preference, you're not worried about being able to change it from a single stroller to a double stroller, you're not worried about fitting it in a airplane overhead, or even buying like one piece now and then expanding it later, those types of things, then you should buy the XL2. But if you have a challenge that our tandem stroller fixes, then you should buy the tandem. Hopefully that makes sense. But it's more of like a preference thing at the end of the day. I mean, the wheels on the XL2 are just a little bit bigger. The weight's pretty much the same between both of them. The tandem's just a touch heavier, but it does have the option to go back to a single. Both can go into a backpack. You know, it's more of a preference than anything. Okay, cool. Looks like that was helpful. Good. How many colors does the tandem come in? So with the tandem, again, you can buy the back seat. The back stroller is the XL1 Best V2. And so you can buy that in all 9 colors. And then the tandem seat itself in the front here is sold separately. And by the way, you get a discount when you combine them on the website. So if you buy them at different times, it's a little bit more expensive. If you combine them at the same time, don't quote me on this, I think it's like a $30 or $40 discount. So they equal $299.98 or something like that together if you buy them together, okay? But the tandem seat itself is sold in, good question, 6 colors, and I think there's the 7th that we'll eventually offer. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what's live on the website, but we're going to eventually offer it in lime green. And I don't think that that's live on the website yet. So eventually lime green, which would make it 7. Currently, I'm pretty sure the yellow, orange, and lime green are not available in the front tandem seat there. And yellow and orange will probably not be offered in this. Maybe, right? But probably not. Let's see. Cool, got my single yesterday and it's amazing. Which one did you get? Which single did you get? Actually, if you guys have a ZOE stroller, tell me which one you have and which color. I would love to know that. Yeah, side by side is great for Disney. Totally agree. Love the humongous canopy. It's funny because I was talking boring business talk with someone last night, and it's always surprising to me that the canopy and the weight are the 2 reasons people buy ZOE strollers as they list it. Okay, there's like so many more things that are awesome about them, and you guys obviously know about it for the most part, but the canopy is a huge selling feature. And I just always laugh because we were told, because if you know our story, we've been around the baby industry for a very long time, consulting, or, Grandpa here has run some of the biggest brands you guys all know, which I can't name, but has run all these huge companies. I mean, he's the chairman of the JPMA, okay? So he's been around the industry for a very long time, and so have I since the beginning of my career. And people that we knew in the industry were just like, why would you do these huge canopies? It's such a waste. And I'm thinking as a dad, no. Like, my children love, I was like, you know what, even if the ZOE completely fails, I want a stroller with a humongous canopy that's not, $2,000, because I want my kids to be able to have what they want, which is like kind of like an oasis in the stroller, like a place to shut off the world and just chill. And that's why we did the canopies. And it's one of the biggest selling features on the stroller that you guys love, and I do too as a parent. So let's see, I'm just scrolling through here. Just got to convince the husband. Happy wife, happy life. Come on. My uncle told me that like pretty much the day I got married, and I've tried very hard to abide by that. Most of the time it works out. Let's see. Cool, side by side with the aqua pads in gray. Yeah, loving out loud. That's the this is the tandem. It's a 2-in-1 stroller. So the front seat comes off very, very easily, and you can basically, that's our XL1 Best V2 here. Just 11 pounds. One finger pick up there, and then this front seat just hooks on like that and like that, and that's our patent pending hook-on system. Full tandem stroller that splits apart, if you want to look at it that way. Not just a single stroller that has a hook-on seat with 6 wheels. Let's see, how long is the tandem? We have specs on the website if you want to check that out. Oh, and by the way, we have like a zillion videos that, see what happens is we're a super duper small company. And so actually we're hiring our first full-time employee next week. Okay. So that's how small we are. So it's just me, dad, and grandpa that work in the company. And so like when you write an email to Zoe, it's me answering it. Okay. But next week we will be hiring our first full-time employee, which will really, really help me focus on more of this kind of stuff in the company, and also, allow a little bit quicker response times and stuff like that, which I know we've struggled with just because of the crazy, honestly, the popularity of our brand, which has surprised us all. So, and it's always, so flattering. I don't even like to say the popularity of our brand because I don't want to say it like that, but basically when we launch products, we get completely overwhelmed and swamped by the sales and all kinds of other stuff. So marketing and videos and all that stuff, even if they're done, just get pushed aside. And so anyways, we have like 50 zillion videos that we've already shot and are ready to go live for the XL1, for the Tandem here, which really needs lots of explaining because it's so cool, but it has to be explained properly. And so anyways, those should be live very, very soon, like within the next couple of days, which will help explain some of this stuff. Because the question is how long is the tandem stroller? And it's on the website. And I had a tape measure. I would just measure it really quick, but yeah. Kind of hard to measure without a tape measure. So anyways, it's on the website. The specs, if you ever want to know like what's the difference between certain ones of our certain models of our strollers, what's like the wheel size, the exact weight, the box dimensions, all that stuff, we have specs at the bottom of every product page. So just scroll past the videos if they're there and check those out. And thanks for all the congratulations, by the way. It's so nice. It's been crazy. Past year and a half has been crazy. It's awesome though. You guys are awesome, man. We literally barely have to market our brand because you guys are so awesome. So it's just amazing. And that was the whole gist of the company is if we do the right thing for parents, they will talk because the products are awesome and word will get around, and we don't need to be a $100 million business to achieve our goals in life. So, most importantly, make great products, make enough money to pay the bills, and spend lots of time as a family. So that's most important to us. Let's see, how does the XL1 do on beach and grass? I mean, we don't make beach strollers, right? So we actually got lots of lashback when a famous Instagrammer, Katie Stanley, had our double on the beach in the Bahamas. I mean, she probably carried it on there, okay, just to get like a really pretty picture with her kids. But the front wheels on our strollers are lockable, okay? So like you can just press the tab down there and it's gonna lock the wheel into place. We also have, let me make sure you guys can see the front wheels here. So we have on our newer strollers like a really, really good suspension. That's actually pretty much the same suspension that was on the $1,000 stroller that I was talking about in the beginning of this Q&A. So like if you lock those wheels, and given the suspension we have and the larger standard wheels that we now offer, you're going to be able to navigate more terrain than you used to be able to with our strollers, and more terrain than probably many competitive strollers, like other umbrella strollers or lightweight strollers, right? But this is not a jogging stroller. It's not an all-terrain stroller. We do not recommend using it on the beach. I don't even know if we've ever personally tried to use our strollers on the beach. we have a jogging stroller for that. Maybe one day there will be a really, really, really cool Zoe jogging stroller that I've already sketched up and thought about a lot. Actually, I got that question from a friend yesterday. So yeah, this is not made for the beach. So just, you know, if you decide to try to use it on the beach, we don't advise that, and be very, very careful. It's just not made for that. But going over grass, no problem. I mean, obviously if the grass is this high, that's gonna be a problem. But if it's like regular, so I live in North Carolina, we have tall fescue grass. It's really, if it's well taken care of, it becomes very thick and heavy, hard to navigate grass. And I have videos on Facebook, Instagram, probably on our website as well, of me navigating that grass, no problem with all of our strollers. Usually I lock the front wheels to do it, which keeps them from just flipping sideways, but it also does still allow a little bit of turning, right? So hopefully that answers that question. Ooh, awesome, cool. I won't name names, but somebody just said selling their other, quote unquote, other stroller to buy a Zoe. Awesome. That's what we want, man. It's funny because it's one of the reasons we don't focus on infant car seats as well, because it's like one of these things in our industry, in the baby industry, that so many people are like not brainwashed, but like told so many times, you need this type of stroller as a first time parent. And we thrive with, you know, either mature parents like the ones with 6 months and older, or 12-month or 2-year-old kids, or especially parents of multiples, or have like multiple kids, different ages, because they get it. Like they know why we created our products. They know why they're so awesome and the benefits they offer. And they're ditching some of the older, heavier, you know, travel system type strollers to come back and just get something that's easy and convenient, just pop in and out of the car. So yeah, awesome. You guys are telling me all the strollers you've sold to get a Zoe. It's awesome. It's so funny because even my wife, I was joking. This is another joke we were talking about yesterday with a friend. My wife, I mean, she has so many strollers, okay, and has always had. It's like purses for us, like tons of strollers. I have like special hanging systems in our garage to hold all the strollers, and always have, right? But I personally am happy to say that all of those strollers, maybe except for our jogging stroller, are just collecting dust right now. And that was almost like the ultimate, can we internally here at Zoe design a stroller that is awesome enough for my wife to use on a daily basis, whether it's a single or double or whatever. And I think we've achieved that task. So she's our biggest critic, maybe besides with me being in the close second, right? And there's never going to be like the perfect stroller. So like most people, you know, given the ability, are going to have like 2, 3, 4 strollers, maybe if not all at the same time, most likely at the same time over like the lifespan of, you know, needing a stroller. But anyways, sorry, I just got distracted by a comment as always. But yeah, anyways, it's, you know, so like it's like Zoe's not going to be your only stroller you ever buy, most likely, but it can definitely knock out a few of them that you probably have in terms of usage and ability and stuff, and probably do it way better. Let's see. Oh, buggy board. Yeah. So we have a buggy board in development. And we didn't want to just develop a buggy board, right? Something that just sits back here. There's already ones that, you know, on certain brands that come up and lock, which is cool. There's one for a very expensive stroller that hooks on and it's almost like its own little seat. I mean, heck, there's even one, you know, unlock that wheel so we don't hear the screeching ever again. There's one that for a double stroller that sits up here, up in the air, right? So there's all kinds of like different options out there in terms of buggy boards or skateboards to go behind the stroller. We have a design that we're working on, and it's very different. And, you know, worst case scenario, we'll probably revert back to like just a basic thing that like locks and, you know, attaches and all that stuff. just to give you the option, but we're hoping to be able to make our idea, and it's a little bit different than all of them, and of course, in our opinion, better and more usable for our family. But the last thing we want to do is like create a big bulky accessory that weighs the stroller down just to like have that. We just like to take our time and try to do things right. So that hopefully we'll have something to show maybe towards the end of this year, but it's probably going to be like early 2018 before we really show that and kind of like launch it. So one thing we're also trying to do is it's not like go crazy with launching products until the details are done. We continuously do that, and it's amazing to me that we'll sell out of an entire container of strollers with just one image per color. But you guys are like, you guys pressure me into doing it, right? It's basically how it happens. Let's see. Yeah, so, okay, that's a good question. So when we're showing the stroller, let me grab one over here, with like the base is one color and then the canopy is another color. So like here's the XLC in Eloise Plum with a London Navy canopy, right? So the way our strollers are made and packaged and all that stuff, we don't have the ability for you to order it exactly like this yet. Maybe one day. For now, the only option is to buy like the Eloise Plum stroller, which would come with the Eloise Plum canopy, and then come back and buy an extra canopy. So that's also confusing to people. So we actually get a lot of people that say, you know, I can't believe you're selling your strollers for the price they are without a canopy, right? They come with the canopy that matches the stroller. We have the canopies also on the website, like during checkout, just in case you want to buy an extra canopy color, not to buy the actual canopy. Also, a mistake I made was I uploaded the XL1 Best V2 canopies, those pictures, because we didn't have these done yet during launch for the XLC canopies. So some people have thought, well, if I buy an extra canopy for the XLC, it's bigger. And it's not. It's the same exact size. And remember too, something I've mentioned in the past, the coverage angles are exactly the same for the XL1 and XLC. It's just more compact, right? So this panel doesn't have to be as big because it has the same angle of coverage and it's just more compact, so it pulls it in, okay? So that's basically how you would get one of these strollers, is buy the stroller in the base color and then add a canopy on, and you save $5 when you do that for every accessory you add to the stroller order. Let's see. Yeah, parent consoles. I'll give you a quick look at that. I mean, I feel bad that you were not able to log on in the beginning. So here's the parent console. It's going to come in all 9 colors when we launch them, and let's see, like long Velcro straps here. I hope I didn't say elastic in the beginning because I was about to say that. So long Velcro straps here that basically allow you to like hook it on properly depending on the recline angle and all of that stuff of the stroller at the time. And then big huge pocket here on the front that's zippered, will fit like your large phones, the iPhone 7 Plus, 8 Plus, iPhone X when it comes out, all that stuff. A mesh pocket in here, which is also zippered. So keys, all that stuff there, a couple credit cards. This is padded on the inside. These will also be machine washable well, we're planning on making them machine washable, put it that way. Even though it says do not machine wash right here, we're hoping that we're doing some testing on that. So a lot of people ask us which parts are machine washable, and it's not something we've really tested in the past, but now we're trying to officially test some of that stuff. And then each one will come with like these elastic side pockets for basically if you lower it down with those long straps, you can put all kinds of like really big cups, like Yeti, you know, whatever it is, right? So 2 of those. and I just saw, can you put 2 on a side by side? Yes. So here's the, let me move some stuff here. Yeah, I love how I always say I have 15 more minutes and it's been 35 minutes. Just trying to hustle for the family. Let's see. So here is the back of an XL2. I'm gonna back you guys up some. Let's see, give you a better angle here without dropping my phone. Okay, and then like boy-girl twins, but you wanted to buy a gray stroller because you didn't want to have to buy extra canopies or something like that to give it a little bit of a splash of color, and maybe for resale or whatever, right? There you go, okay? So hook, no problem. I mean, literally I just go on. You can kind of put them on however you want to. And like I said, at different angles and all that stuff. It's really no problem. Like my wife actually likes to hook them both like really tight right here. But then we wanted to make them long to where basically, you know, you can get them even depending on how they're hooked on. And then depending on the size drink and stuff you're gonna put in. And also if the recline is like, you know, right there or like just behind it, you might wanna raise it up or drop it down accordingly. So we just wanted to give you guys options. But my favorite thing about these, because there's a zillion different parent organizers or consoles out there, is just the color, you know? So you're not gonna find many companies that happen to have 9 really pretty fashions, really good looking fashions in their factory that they can make parent consoles out of. So we're lucky enough to be able to do that. Yes, venti coffees, I've already done it. Yeah, I get a venti every morning from Starbucks, and let me see. Yeah, and depending on, you know, how you want to put it or whatever, there you go, venti. And I can actually, depending on how I put that in, I could put it in from this angle as well. So, there you go. No problem. Still some room for the extra venti if they ever come out with it. Weight and height limit, check out the specs on the product page. So if you just go to the XL2 Best V2 product page and scroll all the way to the bottom, lots of specs and all that stuff are there. And we don't have a height limit, just a weight limit. And it's a recommended, you know, we have a minimum recommended age, we have a maximum recommended weight, but we do not have a height limit. What you want to do is measure your child from waist to shoulder and waist to the tip of their head and compare that to the bottom of the seat to the top of the seat, and then the bottom of the seat to the top of the canopy. And I think one of my children, my oldest obviously doesn't sit in any strollers anymore, but she basically exceeded those height limits, but she was within the weight limit. And she still sat in our strollers very, very comfortably in those times. So Instagram's giving me a time limit, so maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I should always use Instagram to cut myself off. All right, cool. Well, it's saying I only have 1 minute, so I got to go. But just hit us up with questions. You can hit us up on Facebook in the comments. We almost never do direct messages on social because it's so hard to keep up. But we have a contact form on our website. And we're always adding info to the product pages into our knowledge base. So dig through those things, and there should be pretty much everything you guys need to know. But I want to answer like one more question. I love the countdown. The pressure does not get to me for some reason. Let's see. Oh, cool, fold. Yeah, 30 seconds to fold, right? Yeah, so basically, to fold the stroller, you pull up on the 2 handles. And that's a 17-pound double stroller. Boom, one hand, no problem. unfold, undo that latch. Almost hit the camera. It's that easy. XL2. XL2 best V2. 3, 2, 1. All right, it's kicking me off. See you guys.